Shalom. We're going to read something here. Praise you, Father, you are good. Your grace and your mercy endures forever, and ever is your faithfulness. We're going to read something and take a walk. 1 Kings, chapter 22. For 3 years, there was no war between Syria, and Israel. For 3 years, there was no war between Syria and Israel. Then, in the 3rd year, Jehoshaphat and the king of Judah, that is Ahab, Jehoshaphat and the king of Judah came. Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, came down to the king of Israel. Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, Ahab, the king of Israel. The king of Israel said to his servants, "Are you aware that Ramoth Gilead belongs to us, yet we're doing nothing to recover it from the king of Syria?" He said to Jehoshaphat, "Will you go up with me to attack?" Jehoshaphat answered the king of Israel, "I am with you all the way. Think of my troops and horsemen as yours." But Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, "First we should seek the word of Yahweh. First we should seek the word of Yahweh." Jehoshaphat said to Ahab, "First let's seek the word of Yah." So the king of Israel assembled all the prophets, about 400 men. He assembled his prophets, about 400 men. And he asked them, "Should I attack or should I hold off?" They said, "Attack, attack. Yahweh will hand it over to the king." But Jehoshaphat, see what we see off top already. Jehoshaphat is the king of Judah, and he has a heart for Yah, but Ahab not so much. But Jehoshaphat said, "Besides these, isn't there a prophet of Yahweh here that we consult? We got all these prophets, but isn't there one of Yah that we can consult?" The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "Yes, there is still one man through whom we can consult Yahweh, Micaiah, the son of Yemala. But I hate him," said Ahab, "because he doesn't prophesy good things for me, but bad." But Jehoshaphat replied, "The king shouldn't say such a thing." Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, "Quickly bring Micaiah, the son of Yimlah." Now the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, were each sitting on his throne, dressed in royal robes, on the threshing floor at the entrance of the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets were there, prophesying in their presence. Okay. Zedekiah, the son of Kenah, had made himself some horns out of iron and said, "This is what Yahweh says. With these you will gore Syria, until they are destroyed." All the prophets prophesied the same thing. "Go up and attack and attack and attack. You will succeed, for Yahweh will hand it over to the king." The messenger who had went and got Micaiah said to him, "Here, now, the prophets are unanimously predicting success for the king. Please let your word be like the word of them." Say something good. They trying to get the real prophet to say something good to line up with the other prophets. But Micaiah answered, "As Yahweh lives, whatever Yahweh says is what I will say. Whatever Yahweh says is what I will say. Whatever Yahweh says is what I will say." When he reached the king asked him, "Micaiah, should we go up and attack or should we hold off?" He answered, "Go up. You will succeed. Yahweh will hand it over to the king." The king said to him, "How many times do I have to warn you to tell me nothing but the truth in the name of Yahweh?" Then he said, "I saw all of Israel scattered over the hills like sheep without a shepherd, says Yahweh." And Yahweh said, "These men have no leader. Let everyone go home in peace." The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "Did not tell you that he would prophesy good things about me, but bad? He wouldn't prophesy good things about me, but bad." Micaiah continued, "Therefore hear the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne." Now listen to the prophet. Now he's having a vision of Yahweh on the throne. Check this out. And this is what we want to talk about. Micaiah answered, 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. Micaiah answered, "Therefore hear the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne with the whole army of heaven standing by him on his right and on his left, Yahweh asks, who will entice Ahab to go up to his death? And one of them said, do it this way. And another said, do it that way. Then a spirit stepped up. This is in the council of Yahweh. Some of the angels, some of the council said, do it this way. And some of the other council said, do it this way. Then a spirit stepped up. Stood in front of Yahweh and said, I will entice him. And Yahweh asked, how? And he answered, I will go and be a deceiving spirit in the mouths of his prophets. Yahweh said, you will succeed in enticing him. Go and do it. So now Yahweh has put a deceiving spirit in the mouth of all these prophets of yours. Meanwhile, Yahweh has ordained disaster for you. Whew. Let's go for a walk. Man. Yahweh is good. His mercy endures forever. Yahweh is good. His mercy endures forever. Yahweh is good. His mercy endures forever. Gotta go for a walk. Fasting all day. I just haven't. When you're fasting, you gotta don't fast all day, and then once you finally come time to eat, you just go crazy. It's not good. And I kind of did this, so I gotta take a walk here. Feels good out here. But let's talk about this. So we have a situation, okay? And the situation that we have is it's a wonderful thing, the truth of his word. The situation that we have here is we got two kings. Of course, we got the king of Israel and the king of Judah. And the king of Judah is Jehoshaphat, and he is a righteous and a just man. You have Ahab, who was not so much. But Ahab want to go ahead and say, yo, we've been at peace all this time. Ain't been in war for 3 years. Now he want to go to war, right? And he like, you know what? That land over there, that's really ours. Okay, the king of Syria, he controlling it. Let's go ahead and get with my partner, the other king over there, and we're going to take it over. So he go meet with him, and they both agree, okay, we're going to go. But then he calls on his prophets that always speak to his own desires, that always speak to his own desires and dictates of his heart. 400 of them, as a matter of fact. And they all prophesying. One of them went ahead and took and made some ram's horn or something. And you're going to kill him with this particular thing, And a lot of us do know this particular story. Now, the key thing I want to point out here is the fact that the true prophet of Yahweh said, hey, number one, I'm going to tell you what Yahweh says. I'm going to tell you what Yahweh says. I'm going to tell you what's written. I'm going to tell you what Yahweh says. Right? And so he says, hey, look, I know you want me to agree with these cats, but at the end of the day, as Yahweh lives, I'm going to tell you what Yahweh says. That's how you know a true prophet gonna tell you the truth, what Yahweh says, regardless how you feel, regardless of life and death, regardless if his life is on the line, you dig? And so he tells them, this is what Yahweh says. I see all of Israel scattered across the land like sheep without a shepherd. And then he goes even further, right? And then he tells them, and then I saw Yahweh having a council. Now we know that Yah has this council. The book of Job tells us about this council. Even the Brit Hadashah, Yeshua said, hey, I was counseling, and hey, Peter, the adversary wanted you for himself to sift you like wheat, was let you know that Yahweh, Yeshua, and even the adversary was all there, talking about Peter, so there's a council that goes on in the heavens. Remember that, and the true prophet said, hey, I saw Yahweh standing there, and he said, what should we do to get this man to play itself? And some of the council said, let's do this. And some of the council said, let's do that. And then a certain spirit jumped up and said, hey, this is what I'll do for you, Yahweh. I'll go down there and I'll be a seducing spirit, a deceiving spirit, a lying spirit. And I will enter into all the mouths of Ahab's prophets. And he's going to believe that he's going to have some victory. Think of it. In the heavens, a spirit that is with Yah, next to Yah, decided to be a liar. And Yah said, go ahead. Go ahead. Deceive that wicked servant. So this, we bring it to the attention, man, because the scripture tells us to test the spirits. Ahab fell for it. And then he tried to even trick him, because if you read further down the story, he decided to go ahead and go into war, right? And then he tells King Jehoshaphat, look, why don't you go ahead and dress up in all your royal robes? I'm going to dress down like I'm common. And the man still ended up losing his life. Couldn't get around it. He was already destined, because the intent of his heart was evil. And Yahweh himself sent a deceiving spirit because of the wicked intent in the heart. Now we got to keep our